So can you give me some examples of data sets? Like, how do people seek out data sets to help them level up financially or just in health-wise in many different ways?
When was the first time you heard about Bitcoin?
It was in I was 16.
Okay.
So 20, I don't know, what year was I in? Year 13? I don't know.
Ballpark it.
Oh, 2013 or 2014?
Okay, so let's say
2014.
2014 you heard about Bitcoin. You didn't buy it.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
You were given a data set. You didn't do anything with it.
Because I didn't trust the source, though. I remember
exactly
someone told
because
me.
you didn't trust yourself.
No, I didn't trust the source.
You're the source.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
The scientific method. You need to put the data sets through a process to test whether they're true or not.
Right, and I
So
didn't test it.
You didn't test it. You didn't test it. You just discarded it.
Yeah, I did.
It was a piece of information that's just neutral, but you had no mental framework to take it through. Therefore, you couldn't process that information because you didn't have the data set to process because your hardware was not compatible yet. So you received the information, you just weren't ready. But you can be ready by upgrading your hardware, which requires consistent, persistent, dedicated energy input so that you can upgrade. So that's kind of like, you need to consume books, you need a network, you need to get involved with people, you need to develop hard skills, you need to learn how to sell, you need to learn how to interact with individuals, you need to learn how to balance a checkbook, you need to learn how to manage cash flow, you need to learn all these things. So it's a cumulative of life that allows you to capitalize on the data sets. So it's not just the information, it's the fact that you need to be compatible with that information in order to capitalize on it. And that is the mind-body connection for data sets.
So if you're not compatible with it, this is a ridiculous question thinking about it in my head before I say it out loud, but in some ways it's almost like it's not your fault if you're not ready to take in that information. But then again, it is your fault because you should continuously try to
There's
level
a duality.
up and
There's a duality. So the duality comes from ignorance is bliss. So you don't know that which you don't know. So I can't expect you to know that which you don't know. So I'm not going to judge you. Like people that don't have money and don't know about money, I can't judge you. Like I completely understand, brother. I didn't know shit. I'm just getting into the game myself. Like I got a couple $1 million under my belt. There's people that have billions. They know something that I don't. So under this concept that in some way, shape, or form, it is your fault because you are responsible for your life, even though I can't blame you, simultaneously, I can't blame you, but you have to blame yourself. So even though I can't judge you, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and self-judge and be like, why am I in this condition? And evaluate yourself through the scientific method and look at your action, look at cause and effect. Effect is I'm broke. Effect is I'm fat. Effect is nobody likes me. Effect is I'm not where my life wants to be. What is causing that state? And if you address the cause, and it's usually, that's exactly, I think I commented on one of your tweets. You said, I think you mentioned these are the worst things in life. Like, I think like sin or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And you had mentioned like being transgender and
vaccinated feminism.
Whatever the list is of what somebody in their personal worldview considers not compatible to status quo or what they find to be normal. But is that the cause? Or is that the effect of the cause? Is there a universal cause that is causing humanity to be sick? And I believe yes. And it is a state of what? Unenlightenment. It's a state of not being able to separate truth from falsehood. That's all it is. The people that take certain actions in life that don't seem logical is because they're not living in truth. But I'm not going to judge them because they're not living in truth. Like, oh, a blind person expecting them to know where to go. I'm going to lead them with grace, with kindness, and understanding that maybe they don't know any better. And Jesus said it best when they were about to stone the woman who had committed adultery. He wrote in the sand, he said, "He who is without sin, cast the first stone." And they all walked away because they were all guilty. So when you understand that you are like everybody else, that you are not above anybody, and that people really just need to be helped, then you understand that the symptom isn't all the things that are happening in society. That's just the effect. What is causing it? And that's kind of what I am focusing on addressing. And I think it comes with resetting the software, resetting the hardware, and just becoming a new person.